This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Well, a pleasant good evening live from the Bridge Creek Gymnasium, site of this area matchup between OSN teams. And it's a doubleheader tonight because we've got four of them all in action, including the area champions that are going to face off here in this gym. It will be the Carl Albert Titans and the Lawton High Wolverines. And then the second of the doubleheader will be Midwest City, and they will take on the MacArthur Highlanders. So it's kind of Lawton against Mid-Del in these two. And then we'll also keep an eye on that big matchup in Piedmont, Del City and El Reno, and that should be a great one. So alongside myself, Jordan Ray, and you know, this is what you live for, Jordan. I know you're a basketball phenom. You love this time of year. We've talked about it on podcasting. We've talked about leading up to what this is, all the ifs, ands, and buts, but it comes down to who's really going to get their game plan in sight, because we're going to talk to both coaches here in a minute. We're going to hear their interviews about what they expect in this game. What are you expecting?
Well, first, thanks for calling me a phenom. I wish I was a phenom as a player, and then as a coach, I wish I was a phenom as a coach. Now I'm trying it out as a broadcaster. This is exciting here because, again, we got Lawton versus Midwest City twice tonight, and so it's great to have both games here. The only problem is only two of these teams can make it to the state tournament, and one of these teams that'll make the state tournament will be one of these two, Lawton and Carl Albert. This is a matchup we were expecting when the seedings were determined, and it's a really interesting matchup because for much of the season, I would say Lawton High looked like the better team, although both teams have two district losses. But Carl Albert's really played well lately, and they have a streak going of making the state tournament every year since 2010. 2010 was the last year they did make state. But Lawton High, brand new to 5A, and they may have one of the best teams they've had in years. So buckle up. I'm expecting, I don't know, I'll just say it'll be an interesting result, to say the least.
Well, we've got 8.5 before we have the national anthem and the starting lineups, and we've got both coaches and their comments about this matchup, and we'll do that right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Coach Price has been coaching for a long time, historical coach. All his teams have been disciplined, very systematic, so, they're going to come in ready to play their game. It's our job to kind of break them out that system. Yes, sir. Man, we just got to take care of us. Really, it's the main thing. At this point, I feel like we're this deep in the season. We've seen pretty much every defense. We've seen teams try to slow us down. We've seen teams run with us. We've seen teams be stronger, more physical, imposing, either not more than us or just as much as us. So really it's kind of us taking care of our game plan, sticking to our discipline. Winning is always the easier choice, man, but I just want to keep the momentum going. Honestly, I feel like we've had our ups and downs this year, especially with that 2-loss week with Midwest City and Del City. So I feel like right now, moving forward, we keep our momentum. That's the best thing for us.
They are extremely athletic. I mean, they can really cause a lot of problems with their length and with their athleticism, with their size. And I talk about their size, that's not bigs, that's guard size. They've got some long, lanky, big guards that are really tough to guard. And so, it's going to take an extra effort from us, and we're going to have to be really solid in everything that we do and stay true to our fundamentals and not let them get into a real fast-paced athletic game. We want to, not that we don't have athletes. We got some good athletes too. And we got some kids that can compete with them, and they will compete with them, but their game plan is much different than ours. And so it's going to be just kind of whether we can maintain our composure and do our game plan and kind of force that on them or let them, get into their little faster paced up and down, pressure type game. We want to stay away from that.
Now, in your 14 straight years of getting to the state tournament and even a few before then, I know a lot of times you've gotten in by winning the area championship, and in other years you got in through the consolation route.
Right.
What do you tell your team as far as the area winning that area championship goes? As far as what's important about it, I know that's just it could be the better seeding in the state tournament. It could be we don't want to mess with Midwest City or Lawton MacArthur on a Friday night. I mean, what do you say to them about it?
We tell them after if the times that we've been able to win regionals and go in as a winner, we tell them what the circumstances are. You guys have earned yourself 2 shots now. You got 2 shots at it. And we talk about that early on. But once we get into like this week of practice, we're practicing for Lawton. That's it. We're going to play 1 game. Now, in the back of my mind, I know that because we've done it, we've lost and we've had to come back the next day and win. I know that's a possibility. I mean, every game you could lose or win. It's just that's the nature of the game. But we make the kids wholeheartedly focus in on that 1 game and that there's not anything else the next day. We don't need to worry about it. And so, I know in this case, a lot of people might look at it and go, well, you need to be looking about Friday because you guys can't beat Lawton. And, people may have a point there of seeing our team and seeing their team, but, our goal is to go in and win. And we've got a game plan that we think we're comfortable with. Whether we can execute it or not, we'll see. But our focus is on winning tomorrow. And if we don't, then our conversation on the way home on the bus will be our preparation for the next day and what we got to do. And then we'll get together the next day. We'll go through our preparation and we'll get ready to play whoever it is on Friday to get a shot to go in.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business, and always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell. Call them at 405-642-8558.
Well, it's a great OSN night, and alongside myself, Eric Sherem, it's Jordan Ray, and we are excited to bring you the first of the doubleheader, which includes a showdown of area champions winning on their home floor just a few days ago, the Lawton High Wolverines and the Carl Albert Titans. And these are on the opposite side of the district. I was able to see Carl Albert in person a little bit when they played in Elgin, and we played a lot of the Elgin games. So I got to see Carl Albert a little bit, and then I definitely saw the other side of it, Jordan. I got to see Midwest City, Dell City, and then, of course, Lawton High, and all 3 of those are in that district, and what a showdown that district became.
Yeah, and it shows that, again, you want to win your district if you can or finish second. Lawton High and Dell City got to do that, and so they're in prime position to get to state. They got 2 games to win 1. They did it by winning the regional championships. this past Friday. Now, as these two teams battle for area, by the Carl Albert, they were able to win a tiebreaker. Well, actually, they were able to beat El Reno, so they had a record of a little better than Lawton MacArthur. They're in a better position than Lawton MacArthur now because of that, finishing second. But now it's when, everything else from here on out. You're on a neutral site, so it's going to be a court you may not be used to, and then you have to, execute, and you really do not want to rely on there being a game Friday, or tomorrow in this case.
Well, they're going to have the national anthem here shortly. Our title sponsor for the Middale side is Confident Chevrolet Buick GMC, your hometown dealer for new and pre-owned vehicles. Visit them today. Confident Chevrolet Buick GMC, exit Hudeberg at 6100 Tinker, diagonal, Midwest City. Confidence is Cavender. So as we step away for the national anthem, and then we'll come back to our starting lineups, and we'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
4D Landscaping and Irrigation has been providing top-rated professional landscape and irrigation services for the past 25 years. They take your vision for that perfect landscaping project for your home, new construction, or business and make it a reality with their easy financing options. You'll want to make sure to ask them about their seasonal services too. 4D Landscaping and Irrigation. Call 510-9983.
Are you ready for a debit card? Well, this card is more than you may realize. It's a reward-earning, style-affirming, money-managing, do-it-all debit card, like a key to the world. It's the Pay Me debit card from Communication Federal. Our Pay Me account pays you real cash that adds up fast, earning rewards when you use your card. So get a free Pay Me debit card today. It's secure shopping and payment power online or in stores. Sounds like you're ready. Communication Federal Credit Union.
Your job can get dirty. You need a solution. At Waste Solutions, we offer front-end loaders, roll-off containers, and dumpsters for any job, large or small. Our services are for everybody, from small businesses to contractors to construction companies and everyone in between. We are a locally owned company, and we've been serving our community for 21 years. We love Southwest Oklahoma, and we take care of our own. Every dirty problem has a solution. We're Waste Solutions. Click or call today.
Arrow Sign Company has been serving Oklahoma and surrounding states for over 60 years. As a family-owned business, our focus has always been on driving people to your door, not just selling you a sign. From custom sign design and manufacturing to installation and service, Arrow Sign has the knowledge and experience to deliver the ideal sign for you while using materials of the highest quality to ensure that your sign will look great for years and years to come. We design and manufacture our signs for longevity, so you get the greatest return on investment possible. Arrow Sign Company, helping your business thrive since 1955.
All right, welcome back to Bridge Creek. Site of this matchup, well, the Carl Albert Titans will be the visiting team, and they will be in their all red. The Lawton High Wolverines will be in their whites. We're getting ready for our starting lineups. And starting lineups is brought to you by Dynamic Health at Dynamic Health Clinic. Dr. Kaufman specializes in athletic injuries, able to get athletes back in action very quickly using a system called Advanced Muscle Integration. Play better and recover faster at Dynamic Health Clinic.
So real quick for Dynamic Health Clinic, I went there yesterday, Eric, and then I went to the gym to do a little bit of deadlifting, and I felt great. So, and I'm not even an athlete. As for Carl Albert, you can see their starters. Elijah Matthews, he's a running back in football. He'll be one of their off guards. He needs to score for Carl Albert in this game. Adrian Randall's their primary point guard, you would say. Only a 5'7 junior, but he plays big. Jordan Hawkins, probably the best three-point shooter on the team, 6'2 junior. Brandon Rogers, maybe the best all-around player and a good shooter, 6'2. And then LeBron Royal, he's a 6'2 post guy. Very athletic, though. Don't underestimate him.
So now you have the Lawton High Wolverines. We'll start off with number 2, Tavarius Deans. He's 1,200 career points and counting at a 6'2 senior. And then wearing number 3, Panay Vasangote. He's a 6'5 senior. He's 1,000 career point leader. And then you've got, we actually have Corey Barnes coming in at number 0. He's come in to replace. So we've got a little bit of a change up at last minute lineups from what we got. But
yeah, it's a different lineup than what we got from Coach Smith.
So we got Rucker and Barnes, and And then what we've seen the last couple of times, and then Nikhil Adams will be your starting lineups for the Lawton High Wolverines, and they're all white. Carl Albert in all red, not to confuse you of who's who on the court.
And a couple things, keys for Carl Albert. You know, Lawton High is a very physical team. They don't have that dominant big guy, but they got a lot of athletes, and their size at other positions besides the center can give teams problems, including Tavares Deans on the offensive glass for Lawton High. They just need to be patient on defense. Carl Albert will try to wear them out with a lot of ball movement, mainly just passing around side to side. If Lawton High can be patient on defense, they can probably hold Carl Albert in check.
Well, I know Lawton High is going to want to try to go fast-paced. Carl Albert's going to try to run it down just a bit. And there you have the matchups. You got 8 on the board. And your first quarter is brought to you by Louis, 6007 Southeast 15th Street, Midwest City. Louis, we're in your neighborhood. Going to jump it at midcourt. And it's going to be controlled by Carl Albert. So they get the opening tip, and they'll get things started away. Carl Albert in all red, as we mentioned. Going to feed that top of the key. Bounce pass inside the paint. Turnaround jumper is up and in. So it swirls in, and Carl Albert gets the first score of the night.
Well, Matthews got the basket. He looked like he was surprised to catch that, but once he did catch it, he went up confidently with his left hand, and that's good for Carl Albert. If he gets started going early, very good sign for the Titans.
So Carl Albert opens with the first bucket, and then the answer for a 3-ball. And a why not Trey cut it 3-ball for the Lawton High Wolverines. And they can get hot in their fury outside that corner.
Well, that was Corey Barnes on a driving kick, and he was not initially in the starting lineup, but it's a good thing he is now for Lawton High.
It's going to be a bounce pass, a little one-on-one up over Panay Vasangote, and that's going to be good for Carl Albert to get the deuce.
Elijah Matthews again, 2 for 2. There's Rogers with the block for Carl Albert, but Matthews, he can disappear at times, so the fact that he's doing what he's doing right now for the Titans is huge.
And, you know, emotions, how is it going to play out in these first couple of minutes to establish who wants to take this in area? Adams, really well defended, and he back irons that off the glass and comes up empty. Still a 4-3 advantage for the Carl Albert Titans. They cross the timeline, top of the key. Rucker with the guard. Outside corner for 3, and that's tipped by Panay Vasangote. So Panay gets a piece of it, but Nikhil Adams has his foot on the line, and so you get the block, you get the rebound, but it's going to be out, and Carl Albert ball.
See, this is where Carl Albert's not used to playing this type of athletic team in Lawton High. Jordan Hawkins thought he was open, but Panay Vasangote is a different type of athlete than, again, what Carl Albert's used to. Turns out he wasn't open.
Going to work this around underneath. Little stop and pop, and gets that to drain in for a deuce.
Another bonus for Carl Albert when LeBron Royal can finish from that distance. He's as athletic as any player from Lawton High, and he needs to play big for the Titans.
So Deans takes it all the way strong, but he misses it, and a Carl Albert rebound, and it's a one-on-one. He kind of slips in the lane. It's a travel is called.
Well, LeBron Royal wanted to go to his right on that. He's not a guard. He's not very tall, so you think he's a guard, but he's really not. And I don't know if that's the reason he couldn't finish there. Maybe his shoes were just a little too slippery, didn't have the footing he needed.
So Deans will take it across the timeline to set things up. Off for another 3-ball, and that's it. Another let Trey cut it 3-ball.
Bray Burrow. Not as familiar with him in those games I called with Lawton High playing Dale City and Midwest City.
Well, one thing you're going to really know is this bench is deep. Whoever's coming off is going to contribute. For 3 coming back the other way. Back iron's no good. Loose ball, and it's going to be out of bounds, and that's going to be last touched by Carl Albert. So Lawton High will get the possession. Notice Carl Albert's not going to press.
If you're going to press, you probably want to save it. Lawton High has too many good guards to press the whole game.
So Rucker waits, little stutter step, and that's going to be a little bit too much.
It's 2 possessions ago for Lawton High, but Tavares Deans had a really good move to the basket as we see Avi Young check in. And he missed the shot. But he got a good look, so I wonder if we'll see him assert himself again. He otherwise hasn't done a whole lot in offense yet, but it's early.
All tied up at 6 apiece, and Carl Albert will cross. Guarded against Deans. Looks to drive. Stops, pops. Back iron's no good. Loose ball picked up by Carl Albert, but it's on the line. So it's going to be on the line and out of bounds. So both teams kind of come up with losses in that last possession.
Lawton High emptying their bench first. But Carl Albert, they can go 10 deep as well. But will they do it in this game? Usually if they will, you won't see much of it until the second quarter.
Guard against Panay, and this is what I think is in the hands of Carl Albert. They are slowing this Lawton High pace down a little bit, disrupting it. Another thing that they saw was that 2-3 zone that Lawton High had troubles with. So Coach Price carrying out all the things that we see in this game.
Well, they had Brandon Rogers guarding Tavares Deans. That's a really interesting matchup. Brandon Rogers, he is seen as their best defender, and he guards the other team's best player a lot.
Well, Champ Brewer looked for the 3, and they decided not to. Back over to Deans. Deans will look back to Coach Smith for a new play call. He'll look left, drives right, stops, pops, then turns around and then puts it up and off the rim. But the sky-high rebounding of Carl Albert has been the difference right now on the boards. And a whistle on the floor.
Jump ball. I didn't thought that the refs were quick on the whistle with that jump ball. And too bad for Carl Albert because Brandon Rogers played really good defense on Deans on that possession. But then Deans forces the jump ball. Reminder, if you're Carl Albert, you get a rebound, you need to chin it, not let the defense get an easy jump ball on you.
Possession arrow for the Lawton High Wolverines. For Champ Brewer, gets it in and inside traffic, and that's stolen away by Carl Albert.
Adrian Randall snuck in there. Small Scott on the floor. Nice pass by Randall.
Pass underneath, and then the bucket counts. So the N1. Get to see that here on replay. Nice little feed up underneath, and you got your hand in the cookie jar.
Super Subs instant replay, and now we'll have Tooney Buys Houses free throws. Tooney Buys Houses, we buy homes in any condition. If you or someone you know needs to sell a home for any reason, call us for a cash offer, 405-931-3046. And again, Adrian Randall playing really well. Slipped that bounce pass into Royal right where he could catch it and finish in stride.
Shot up, no good.
Real important Royal starts making those free throws for Carl Albert because he's such a physical player. He's going to get to the free throw line when he's in the game. Timeout Lawton High. He didn't like, Coach Smith did not like that offensive possession. He wants to save a possession there. Pretty early to do that, but he's calling a 30-second timeout.
Okay, and we'll keep that here. But, what's your assessment after the first couple of minutes? It looks like, I would say, just as an observer of watching a lot of Lawton High basketball where they're up and down the court really fast, Carl Albert has already slowed that down, and that plays a little bit into their hand. That's their game. That's their game plan.
Lawton High has not made a two-point shot yet, and they have not gotten anything in transition. They've gotten stops. They've gotten some defensive rebounds to try to push it, but you can't do that every time you get a defensive rebound. No steals yet for Lawton High, and I think that's one of the reasons they haven't got out in transition. And that is a nice advantage for Carl Albert that they've slowed that down.
Yeah, that's kind of their bread and butter, so to speak, of those transitions. And we already got a whistle. And
looks like away from the ball, there's a foul on Lawton High.
Okay.
It's on Adams.
So Adams is going to pick something up that's going to be the team's second and his first. Going to set this one up. Guarded up top. Looks to drive. This round perimeter passing. Wait for the open shot, the open man. Taking their time. Oh, he slipped on the court, but no call on the travel. Still own the possession.
And he kept his dribble going.
Gets to back out. As Brewer tried to contest a little bit defensively. Fired down baseline. Waits for the defender up, and then that goes out into the transition now for the Lawton High Wolverines. Trying to go coast to coast up, and he'll be fouled, and they'll say it's a charge.
Yes, charge. Adrian Randall again. He's making a lot of plays for Carl Albert without scoring. I'm surprised Lawton High just doesn't try to target him more because, again, he's clearly the smallest player on the floor.
So that's going to be the third foul. 2 more to put Carl Albert in the bonus. And it's still just an 8-6 contest. Very low scoring. Remember, Lawton High put up 100 points over there in that matchup against Elgin just last week.
Got a reach-in foul on Tavares Deans, which means now Lawton High is in the penalty for the rest of this quarter. Ooh, they had a right idea. Randall made a good pass to LeBron Royal, but Royal just couldn't corral it because he was too busy engaging his defender. But it's a dead ball turnover, so that's not going to be a transition opportunity for Lawton High.
So Deans will cross the timeline. He'll look for a little bit of help. They don't even have Panay going yet. He only had that really good defensive block. Vasengote loses it as they get the ball from underneath. The ball goes out of bounds, and that's going to be last touched by Lawton High. So Carl Albert gets the turnover, and they got the advantage. So everything is going Carl Albert's way. This is kind of their game plan, what they wanted to do, and take Lawton High out of their element.
Yeah, but they're only up 2, so their offense has been a little quiet as well the last few possessions.
A little bit of a press here. Lawton High puts it. Dean's on the coverage, and so is Champ Brewer on the other end. 2.5 to go in quarter 1. Got an exciting one here. Low pass. It's down underneath in the paint, no good. Fast transition. Champ Brewer gets a little bit of congestion, and then there's going to be a foul and a reach-in. Probably. Is that going to be on Royal?
Yes.
So Royal's going to pick up his first, going to be the team's second.
Be a big deal that he stays out of foul trouble. Right now coming in for Carl Albert is Xavier Garcia, and he's been probably their best offensive player the last few games heading into the playoffs, even though he comes off the bench. He was our player of the game the last 2 times I got to call their games on the Oklahoma Sports Network against Elgin and El Reno.
Champ Brewer goes all the way, takes it right inside the lane, coughs it up, comes up short. Rebound, Carl Albert. On the defense, chipping away, and that ball is going to go out of bounds. Got some substitutions coming in.
Garcia got the ball knocked away from him. He's very fortunate it was knocked out of bounds. Carl Albert needs to give him some help when he's trying to drive the ball against that pressure from Lawton High.
Really seeing some of the best of the 6 that are represented on the west side to try to be one of the 4. And who really will it be? Looks for a little bit of help finally, and they want to go inside that paint, but a kick out to a 3-ball look, no good. He doesn't try that. A little tap out. Now we're going to drive. Free one to the lane. He'll go up, but it's not good. He'll get the rebound, put back up for the second time, and the third time's the charm. Third time, and it goes in.
Well, you can see what I'm talking about with LeBron Royal. This is the second and 1. So more Toonie Bice-House's free throws for him. And he is so active around the glass. You know what? In a game of athletes, he may be the most athletic guy right now because you can see he's got a spring to his step that even Lawton High players have a hard time matching. Maybe Deans is the one guy that could match him on pure athleticism.
So they're the first to make double digits with the lead and the 3-point swing. Looking to try to add this one. Little bend in the knees, up, and count it to get you to 11. Carl Albert with the lead. Lawton High trying to find themselves. And we got a whistle away from the action. And what is this going to be called?
I think it was a hand check. It was on the action.
Okay.
Some one-on-one. Matthews fouled Young, but not free throws yet. Titans still have a foul to give.
So Young going to back out, get a little bit of pick from Deans. Goes left, looks for the 3. No. Deans backed up. He'll drive. Against 3. Kick out. Adams to the corner. No good. Rattles in and out. Loose ball picked up by Carl Albert. On the run. Coast to coast, and it's rejected by Adams. Adams gets the rejection. Maybe that's the spark that Lawton High needs. Back up top. Needs a little bit of help. Champ Brewer for 3. Rattles in and out. That's usually something that he usually takes. Champ Brewer will get the rebound, though. Back over to Deans. Trying to get something for the Lawton High Wolverines. They've been scoreless several times down the floor on this end. 41 seconds remain in the first quarter. Almost double teamed against Deans. Deans stops inside the traffic. Outside corner, 4-3, no good. But Adams with a putback up for good is 2.
First 2 points for Lawton High by Adams there. First 2-point basket, I should say. And that's something that Lawton High can do real well, is crash the offensive glass. With their shooting being off, they're starting to do that more and more.
21 seconds. Play for the last shot, perhaps. Carl Albert going to drive hard, kick out, corner. Wide open 3 ball. Hits it.
Austin Johnson, when he can do that, that's more of a bonus for Carl Albert.
It was a quick 3 down the transition, and it comes up empty, and they're going to try to throw that. Oh, and hits the back of the glass. So it is a 14-8 lead after 1. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network. All right, welcome back. 1 quarter in the books. What's your take so far in 1 quarter there?
Carl Albert's defensive game plan, which is basically just great team man-to-man defense, for the most part, is working really well. And they're not making any offensive mistakes that lead to transition opportunities for Lawton High.
So we'll start out with a 14-8 advantage, Carl Albert to start quarter number 2. Stops, pops, no good. And if they start hitting those, Lawton High would be in a lot more trouble than they are right now. They've missed some close ones. It's tied up with some defense there. Deans look for Panay, took away from that. I thought that was going to be the go-to underneath that they usually look for that alley-oop. So,
yeah, I'm surprised he didn't see it.
Off the glass, no good. But you got to box out, and Carl Albert is definitely out rebounding on the offensive boards when Lawton High is used to getting second and third chances throughout the season. So they're seeing something that they're not used to.
Well, their pressure defense has not fazed Carl Albert at all.
Well, Carl Albert's been here before, so we'll stop on the baseline by 2, up in the top of the key to try again. Work this one around. Taking as much time as they want. Get the big frame down underneath. Back up top, round robin with perimeter passing. Top of the key, looks to roll. Panay on the guard. Goes left wing. Goes baseline, stops. Oh, and that's a tie-up with Deans, and they're going to say a foul or a jump ball.
The refs did not make a hand signal and called it, but
I think it just went out of bounds. So
it's not a jump ball.
I think it just bounced out of bounds, I guess.
Lawton High does have the possession arrow, but it looks like it's going to stay with them, so that's the better outcome for them. That's what Lawton High's got to do. They got to respond with defense on their own. Again, they're not getting any type of stop that leads to transition, but you still need stops no matter how you get them.
Rucker, a little handoff to, nice feed, but see, they didn't get the bounce for Barnes.
Lawton High's made two two-point baskets, both off offensive rebounds. That's what's going to keep them in this game.
The lead is 4. Carl Albert with the ball with 6:14 left to go in the second quarter. Barnes on the defense. Turnaround and their travel is called. So the turnover by Garcia.
Yeah, he made the shot too. But good defense by Barnes. They're staying with him. Carl Albert's not getting much separation. They just have to keep passing and hope they can find a loose hole in the Lawton High defense.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Are you looking for more than just a job? Paris Foods in Lawton offers a career with a competitive starting wage, opportunity for advancement, life and health insurance, including medical, dental, and vision, as well as 401k retirement plan. At Bar S, you can be proud of a company that gives back to the community. But most of all, you can take pride from making a quality product. Bar S Foods, making the best tasting hot dogs and smoked sausages. The food America likes to eat. So come be a part of a winning team and start your path to success today.
So after the quick timeout, Lawton High going to cross the perimeter, looking to try to get something going. Carl Albert's defense has something to say, a little fadeaway, and man, he was hoping to get the and-one, but
we got some free throws for the first time for Lawton High coming up here. Good, this is a good pump fake to get Garcia in the air, I believe it was, or that may have been Matthews who gets the foul.
Let Trey cut it 3 ball, and let Trey cut it charity stripe sponsor. Why not let Trey cut it? Just use the QR code and book your appointment. Appointments avoid disappointments. This is the first.
We also want to thank Scrambled for being a quarter sponsor. Their breakfast place located at 1742 Northeast 23rd Street, Suite A in Oklahoma City, not too far from the Midwest City area. Call them at 405-900-5972.
Well, he gets one of the two to fall in. It's a 14-11 contest. Carl Albert with the lead. Long way to go in this one. Both defenses really trying to contest the other. Inside and a whistle.
Rogers draws a foul on the floor. He had nowhere to go with that, really. Not much space.
Is that going to be on Rucker? Yeah, Rucker, it's his first team first.
This is where one of the things that can make a difference in a game like this, do you have a good baseline and a bounce play? And it works for them. They get another foul. Rogers posting up a smaller player, that being Rucker. Rucker's 5'9", Rogers is 6'2". It's good identification by Carl Albert to see that matchup. We'll see if they do it again.
5:30 to go here in quarter number 2. Looks for a little help, and he says, no, forget it. I'll take the 3. Back iron's no good. Lawton High with the rebound. Quickly down the floor. Here they come with a coast-to-coast opportunity, and that's going to be whistled with a foul.
Well, Rogers can't believe it. He thought he played it clean there, but he's going to get a second. Now, it's been an interesting decision for Coach Price. He's not going too deep to his bench. We haven't seen Rex Reynolds in, for example. Does he start to bring in another sub with Rogers with 2 fouls?
Scan the QR code and book your next appointment where appointments prevents disappointments. Let Trey cut it. Missed the opportunity, and the Wolverines was watching their practice the other day after I interviewed Coach, and I said, man, you're going to need every one of those free throws. Games like this.
That's how it feels like it. They could be tied right now. They're down 2 because they missed their last 2 free throws. Carl Albert in a funk right now on offense.
14-12 contest, and we've got a whistle on the floor. Coach Price is upset. He's off the bench.
Couldn't tell if he upset at Austin Johnson, who was throwing it in, or he thought the 5 count was quick. A lot of coaches use a timeout in that situation if they haven't called one yet, but Carl Albert has called a timeout.
Up to Panay Basangote. He'll stop. Little outer to Adams, who was a bomb down low, too low. Picked up. It's going to go out of bounds, but last touched by Panay, and it's going to go Carl Albert's way.
Adams was expecting an alley-oop from Panay.
Yeah.
Instead, he got a low pass to his midsection. That should have been an easy 2 points for the Wolverines.
Don't want to get too fancy from what brought you here and what you're so used to doing.
Well, he didn't get fancy, but he was expecting fancy.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
You want to be on the same page as what you need.
Right. Do that outside perimeter passing till they get the shot they want. They don't get it. It's a rebound by the Wolverines with Panay Basangote. Panay's going to get over to Young. Young will look to drive. Both left, right, then goes back up, gets caught in the wash, and that's going to go out of bounds, but it's going to go out off of a Carl Albert steal and touch, so it's going to be Lawton High ball.
Good double team by Rogers. Of course, anything he does that's aggressive on defense, it's coming with a risk. Because, again, he's got 2 fouls. And he's still guarding Tavares Deans, who, of course, has been quiet. He's respected Brandon Rogers on defense as Deans. Took him to the basket a couple times, but that's it.
So Deans lets that one fly, and it's been a shortage of shots for both teams. Kind of in a drought, and that's why it's just a 14-12 ball game, and we're halfway through the second quarter. A little alley-oop in the lane and a whistle.
That's a charge on Randall. Randall's got to see that Lawton High player was planted. Missed who it was, but he was planted for quite a while. You got to come to a jump stop if you want to shoot that shot. It's a good idea to shoot it, but not a floater where you just jump into the body of the defender.
Deans looks for a little bit of help outside Brewer. Champ Brewer takes the 3. Step back, put no on the rim. No good.
Good boxing
usually
out.
That's something that he usually drains, and he's kind of come up empty tonight.
He was trying to sell a foul, too. Didn't get the call.
He got that one against Del City, if you remember, to win that at the buzzer.
I remember it very well.
Nice little turnaround jumper inside the lane. Back iron's no good. 3 Wolverines on the defense. Panay Vasengote gives it over to Deans. Deans bounce pass, but too much. Too much mustard on it to Burrell, and Burrell could not corral that.
And Deans is unhappy that I think he wanted Burrell to cut. Boy, he's fuming a bit as Tavares Deans.
Well, he's got to calm down with the emotions on that. With a game with a 1-bucket lead, 14-12, Carl Albert, 3:28 remaining in the second quarter. Going to bounce that around. Oh, feed, and that's just a giveaway. Stolen by the Wolverines. Here's an opportunity. Slam dunk for Panay Vasengote to tie this one up at 14 apiece.
First transition points for for Lawton High, and it came because LeBron Royal was not expecting that pass from Rogers.
So all tied up, and that usually ignites this team. Now it's Champ Brewer with an easy layup up and in, and for the first lead tonight, the Lawton High Wolverines 16-14, and timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. You're watching the Area Championship on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Goodbye, paperwork. Hello, convenience. Farewell, waiting. Hello, personal service. Catch you later, dreaming. Hello, planning. Buy your dream home, connect with a personal banker, and easily schedule an appointment with digital tools from Arvest Bank. Goodbye limits, hello possibilities.
Back to Bridge Creek High School. Lawton High got on a run that they needed for the first time. And they lead for the first time with 2:52 left to go before the half. So the drought has kind of come up empty, and let's see how Carl Albert responds. Quickly down the floor. Going to set this one up, stop and pop for a back iron 3. Loose ball picked up. Panay touches it. 3 defenders in it. And then finally, Lawton High gets it out.
Rogers had a decent look.
Panay to Champ Brewer from the corner. Champ can't buy a 3. And then inside, and a foul with the rebound.
Well, you had a possession a couple minutes ago where Carl Albert had such good boxing out that the missed shot by Lawton High, the ball hit the floor. But that's not going to always happen. And Lawton High normally has such team speed, and they use it so well on the offensive glass, and they're getting these free throws here because of that and this possession.
Well, let's see what they can do with it at the line. Gets the one to fall in. Lawton High with their largest lead tonight as they trailed this contest. And now for the opportunity to get the second at the line. Let Trey cut it 3 ball. Charity stripe. Up and in.
It's Young with the free throws. First time Lawton High's made both free throws in one trip. They are on a 10-0 run. Carl Albert has not scored this quarter.
and it's a 4-point lead by Lawton High. Carl Albert looks to back out, drives inside the paint, and there's a whistle as he goes in. And what's the call going to be?
It's going to be a 2-shot foul. Looks like that would have been a good block shot for Lawton High, but
he tried to get the charge, but his feet were already in motion. You saw that on the replay.
Psychologically speaking, these are huge free throws for Hawkins, Jordan Hawkins. Love the name. Toonie Bicehouse's free throws. Looking for first points for Carl Albert, and the rim's in. That's big because they've been in such a drought. So this is going to lift them up a bit. They're just trying to survive this quarter, and then they got to figure out how can they start generating better offense in the second half.
Well, and the way you do that, it's like. So he knocks him down both. Panay Basagote goes over to Young. Young will look to drive. He'll get that over to Burrell, to Deans. Burrell will make the pick. He'll roll left. One-on-one in the lane, a step back, put back, no good. But the rebound I thought was going to be good, but it was not. Carl Albert gets the rebound. So Lawton High comes up empty. Outside corner. Try to get up to the top. Play a little bit of round ball perimeter passing. And it's a 1-bucket lead by Lawton High. It was up to 4 at one point. The largest lead for Lawton High as they trailed most of the first and second quarter. Stops for a 3. Puts it up. Rims no good. Loose ball picked up by Carl Albert, and he puts it back up for 2. We're all tied up.
That's the missing ingredient. He was tremendous on offense in the first quarter, just playing hard around the basket. Was out some in the second quarter. Now he's back in and made an impact there.
All tied up. Waits, hesitates, gets that deflected, and then it's blocked.
What a stand by Rogers. He did that with 2 fouls. He cannot pick up a third, and he still was able to contest that shot by Deans.
Takes Deans off of his perimeter. With 40 seconds, look to Coach Price for the last play as he'll want to try to drain this. So we got an all tied up ball game trying to go up at the half by a bucket. Still looking for the play call. Looks back to Coach with 25 seconds remaining. Brewer on the defense. Outside corner. 20 seconds to go. Up top. Look back to Coach Price, and we'll get a new play call.
Price does not want to call a timeout because he only has 3 left.
Down to 12. Down to 10 seconds. Final shot coming up. Down to 6. Goes strong in the lane. Outside for a 3 ball on the way. No good. Picked up with 1.5 seconds. Brewer has to throw it. No, that's in his hands. And that is going to be incomplete. No good. And we are all tied up. Just what you would expect an area championship to be at 18 apiece. Wow. So, and we'll get an update here with the Del City El Reno game too.
Del City down 7 at the last update. Second quarter, 28-21.
All right, so we'll take a timeout and be back. Halftime and second half action. Don't you go anywhere right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Landmarks. They stand as symbols, reminding us of history and moments that shape our lives. We create our own landmarks. At Becker Raybon Funeral Home, we understand the importance of honoring these moments. Let our compassionate team help you celebrate the life and legacy of your loved one. Offering a range of services to honor the stories that matter most, we believe that every life leaves a mark that deserves to be cherished and remembered. Becker Raybon Funeral Home, honoring the landmarks of your life.
Memorial Medical Group's orthopedic specialists are the most experienced team in Southwest Oklahoma. Our orthopedic surgeons are trained to diagnose and treat shoulder, knee, hip, hand, and foot conditions, as well as orthopedic trauma, sports, or work-related injuries. And they're the only ones in the area to offer Mako robotic-assisted surgery for knee and hip replacement. When you need bone and joint help, trust MMG Orthopedics to get you back to living your best life.
Whether you're buying or selling, today's real estate market is proving trickier than ever.
We've been doing this for over 22 years.
So if a problem does arise, you can trust us to solve it.
Let us use our years of experience to guide you to buy or sell your home.
Trust the team that's gotten it done with over 12,000 deals done in the last 22 years.
Always call our Payment Berries team.
We're not bragging, we're just applying for a job.
Bank First is uniquely Oklahoman, deeply rooted in over 50 communities statewide. From those roots, our investment in education springs forth, helping to raise the Oklahoma leaders of tomorrow while providing financial strength to the business leaders of today. That's the kind of loyalty that helps entire communities thrive. Bank First. Loyal to Oklahoma. Loyal to you.
Welcome back to the Bridge Creek Gym, and where we got the Lawton High Wolverines and the Carl Albert Titans, all tied up. That is not a typo. 18 points only with 2 quarters in the books, and that's how this defense missed shots and missed opportunities for both teams has played out. So the adjustments will come. What will they do to make that in the second half? Because the area championship, one team is going to punch their ticket to state. The other is going to have to come back and play right again tomorrow in the consolation round. Another game going on right now as El Reno leads Del City over in Piedmont. And we'll keep an eyeball on that one. And then the second of the doubleheader here will be Midwest City and MacArthur. So it's really Lawton against Mid-Del in the clash of these area matchups. And we're so excited to bring it to you. So we got about 6 minutes left before we start the second half action. We'll have another timeout. Be back to it right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Shaw looks to inbounds.
Oh, he was wide open.
It's wide open for that. It expires, and that is it. Del City wins.
I saw it the whole time.
They snuck away, and they got the revenge. We'll put it back on the instant replay. Watch how he escapes, and nobody is back home. He makes the decision from up the top. He goes up and in, off the glass. Del City wins.
Hey, Deans picks up those dribble. Oh, my goodness! Oh, my goodness! It's Brewer putting up the three and getting hammered, and it hits the three. Ball game is over. The Lawton Wolverines win 46-43 over the Del City Eagles on the three-point shot of the four-point play by Champ Brewer with 3.3 seconds left. What a basketball game, folks.
How can you describe Whataburger's honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich? The chicken just has a certain... And then there's the sauce that just gives you a little bit of... And the cheese? It's the exact right amount of... It's almost too hard to put it into... Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich at Whataburger. Just like you like it.
Want to take the stress out of your next remodel or building project? Comanche Home Center can deliver all the lumber, supplies, and tools right to you. When you're done, they'll pick up anything you don't use and give you credit towards your next project. Give Comanche Home Center a call today for a free estimate.
Here at Carpet One, we have a great selection of carpet, hardwood, vinyl, tile, laminate, and area rugs. With all this, you're sure to find exactly what you want for your home. Come browse our exclusive selection or give Carpet One at Comanche Home Center a call today for a free estimate.
At Firehouse Subs, a portion of every purchase helps provide life-saving equipment to first responders across the country. So at Firehouse Subs, we don't just make subs. We make subs that are big, bold, and craveable. We make our subs differently because our subs make a difference. Whether you order online or on our app, Firehouse Subs Rapid Rescue to Go will have your subs boxed, bagged, and ready for pickup. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives.
Clothes nowadays are so expensive. And no matter how good a sale is, you still walk out spending hundreds on barely anything. Goodwill is the place to go. We have a wide variety of affordable clothing for all ages. To help you save, we have weekly specials from half off to 99-cent items. Make sure to check out our colors of the week before you start shopping to get more for less. Save at your local Goodwill today.
When it comes to your health, you want and deserve the best. You want a hospital with the highest quality scores in the region and one that provides safe, excellent care. Southwestern Medical Center has been a part of this community for 115 years and has a history of delivering compassionate, skilled health care to Lawton and Fort Sill. Choose the hospital that has always put the health of this community first. Southwestern Medical Center. Be well. Live well. That's why we're here.
Well, back here at Bridge Creek, quickly, if you're Coach Price, what did you tell your team at the half?
Well, you have to be very pleased with how you limited Lawton High's transition except for one stretch this second quarter where Carl Albert had a couple of turnovers that Lawton High converted into easy baskets. As far as an offense goes, you may want your team to be even more deliberate, more selective. So this is being played at a Carl Albert pace. If it's a low-scoring game, that gives them the best chance. Lawton High is the team with the more high-powered offense. They've been limited, but, that's just one half. We'll see if they can continue to impose their will on the offensive glass. That's when they're at their best. Tavares Deans needs to get going for him. Brandon Rogers played the entire half. Guarded Deans tightly with 2 fouls and was able to survive. So we'll see if he can stay out of foul trouble in the second half.
All right, and if you're Coach Smith, what did you tell Lawton High?
You got to find opportunities to gamble. If Carl Albert's going to be patient on offense, use that to your advantage. Find the time where you can take a bit of a risk on a steal. Try to find the opportunities to push the ball. Get your offense into high-flying mode. Hasn't really happened yet.
So we're going to switch ends of the floor. Carl Albert in all red, white, Lawton High, and they're all whites. And Carl Albert gets the opening possession to start second half. They aren't going to wait this time. They didn't hesitate. Go to the 3-ball. Bounces around. Loose ball picked up with the rebound by Panay Vasangote.
Well, they didn't hesitate because they're running a set play for Brandon Rogers, so we'll see if they wait longer because they're not going to run as many set plays now. But usually the first play of the quarter for Carl Albert, they do like to run a set play.
Rucker tosses over to Barnes. Barnes with a bounce pass over to Deans. Deans trying to go strong around and then goes up and then bounces around. Loose ball, and Deans fights for it. And there's a loose ball and a jump ball is called, and the possession arrow is going to stay on this end of the floor.
Deans is frustrated.
Getting very physical. Yeah, Deans. And, and he'll get out of his element if you get him frustrated, and he's trying to do too much. I think he just needs to settle down a little bit. He's got a lot of help from Panay Vasangote. Just dribbles around, and that's going to be a 3-ball that hits.
That's how Lawton High started the game. They didn't hit a 3 after that until now.
So Lawton High with the opening lead here in the second half when we were all tied up at 18 apiece. Carl Albert had the opening possession, missed the opportunity down on this end of the floor. Boy, they're really double teaming down in the middle. It's a loose ball picked up, though. Carl Albert gets another second chance at it. Gonna drive, stop inside the lane. Oh, almost loses that. Rucker on the defense. Deans over on that corner. Down, and that's what they want underneath. Turnaround jumper is up and in.
Again, he's not very tall for a post guy, but he has everything else you'd want as far as athletic ability goes. LeBron Royal has such great feet, such great strength and explosiveness, and he scores there for the Titans.
Rucker goes strong to the hoop, and there will be a whistle, and he'll go to the line shooting two.
That's something that's missing for Lawton High. They are not attacking the basket as much as they haven't been getting to the free throw line as much as they'd like to, and they're still not going to. I thought that was an actual shooting.
I thought so too. So I stand corrected. Panay Basagote for three. Rims out. Loose ball picked up by Rucker. Opportunity to Barnes. Barnes to Rucker. Rucker will look for a little bit of help. Still staying in that 2-3 zone. Panay Basagote for three. And you know what? It rains, it pours.
Yep.
But you can live by it and you can die by it. But right now, living's pretty good. And a whistle on the floor.
Offensive foul on Rogers. That's going to be his third. That's a huge sequence. It's a turnover, and Rogers' third, who's been playing the entire game.
Coach Price not happy with how that outcome took. So Barnes will tap into Rucker. Their Buffalo Wild Wings third quarter. Panay Basagote's got the hot hand. No, he doesn't get the three. Loose ball picked up, and it's going to be taken back by Panay Basagote. Rucker, he'll look to drive back over to Deans. Deans in between his legs, goes strong to the hoop. Nice little fade up off the glass for two is good. And the largest lead for the Wolverines is 6.
They're starting to get into a rhythm on offense.
Kind of a slow start as they got. And it was an 18-18 contest at the half, just kind of showing you the low score between both ball clubs. That's usually a first quarter score, not a halftime score. Substitutions coming in. Burrell will come in, and he'll replace Adams. Got tying the shoe timeout for an official's timeout for Deans, and Deans will get the proper footwear all tied up. Now we'll get an exchange for a Carl Albert Titan to bounce that one in. Nice little hook up inside the lane is good for two.
Very important response. Carl Albert's not they're not great playing from behind usually. They need to get this deficit back.
Deans goes, and he goes strong to the hoop. And he puts it up for the deuce to make it 28.
So getting that third foul on Rogers, that's a big deal. And Dean's got more confidence right now.
I know that Barnes is going to say that's on me, and it was. So it'll pick up the second team foul. Both have 2. That is Barnes' first foul of the night. Carl Albert to inbounds, a one-on-one underneath. He waits for a little bit of help. Trails over here on the near side. Baseline. Looks to start at the top of the key, and we'll start over. He said a little bit of help. Low bounce pass right here. Back up top. Outside corner. Got a lot of congestion with some defensive shifting down below. Loose ball picked up, and that ball's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Carl Albert. So the Lawton High Wolverines will take the possession. 4 minutes, almost halfway through quarter number 3. Only 4 points for Carl Albert since the halftime break. Lawton High trying to extend their lead.
Only 8 points for Carl Albert since the first quarter.
Oh, all alone. A dish up and in for the deuce to make it 30. And the Lawton High Wolverines have now found their rhythm. They've been battle tested. They played Midwest City and Del City, and they split those games with those teams. Stops inside the lane, outside. Looks to drive. Steele coming back the other way, transition. Rucker. Oh, and they're going to say a little bit too much.
No, I think he got a foul on Royal, but should be on the floor.
He tried to do the and one, and a little acrobatic, and the Super Subs instant replay gave you a second look on that.
I love Super Subs. I go there every now and then, eat a steak bomb when I want some protein.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take it with him. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Get ready. It's time for the Billingsley Annual Gigantic Ford Sell-Off with the best prices of the year on all remaining 2024 models. Zero down, no payments for 90 days, and giant savings up to $10,000 on the 2024 new F-150 Platinum truck that out-tows, out-hauls any other truck in its class. Only at the Billingsley's Gigantic Sell-Off. Save thousands on all remaining new 2024 trucks in stock. Only at Billingsley Ford and Lawton, Duncan, and Altus.
Southwest Foot and Ankle Clinic has specialized in the medical and surgical treatment of the foot and ankle for the past 40 years. And they provide all treatments under one roof. From x-rays, radial pulse therapy treatment, to surgical treatments, all with one goal in mind, providing the highest quality medical care with good old-fashioned Oklahoma compassion. Call to set up an appointment today. Southwest Foot and Ankle. 580-357-8720.
All right, so Coach Price called a timeout. A full one to get the troops kind of settled all back in. It's been a little bit of a run for the Lawton High Wolverines. And Rucker to the line shooting two. Sure, let Trey cut it. Charity stripe opportunity, gets the first one to go.
It looks like Lawton High's just settled in. They've been getting transition opportunities.
It's kind of what they live off of, you know, that we've seen throughout this year. I think what's really been good for them is they've been battle tested with such great teams, as we mentioned, you know, with Midwest City and Del City, playing those games and then losing those two. Coach says it really kind of reinvigorated them to play a little bit better, intense basketball. It's a 10-point lead. It's the largest tonight. Lawton High, but we got a long way to go in this one. Up off the glass, the bank is open.
Elijah Matthews scored the first 4 points of the game for Carl Albert. He had a couple of good looks after that, but missed and hasn't done much since. He's a lefty, and he's a crafty one. He needs to do some more of that.
Dean's inside the lane, doesn't take it all the way, goes baseline with the pass, up, bounces around. Carl Albert with the rebound.
That's just a great contest, and then rebound. He did both. LeBron Royal there.
That's what happens when you still play as intense as they have been. 2.5 approximately to go here in the third quarter. A run right up off the bank glass, no good. Deans with the rebound, double teamed, over to Rucker. Rucker will cross the timeline. He'll look, bounce, pass, up and in. Nice feed, and the give and go is good.
Yeah, that's been missing for Lawton High, that movement without the ball, but they've had a couple of players just slip open this quarter. It's part of their better offensive rhythm. Meanwhile, Elijah Matthews, he goes left. He's got to use that backboard effectively, something he has not really shown this season.
We've seen this a lot of perimeter passing. Outside, oh, and then it's a steal inside over to Rucker. Here's that transition, spin move, up. He'll take it all the way, and it gets batted out of bounds. And none of that here. Not in this gym. And the rejection goes out of bounds, but he'll stay on this end of the floor.
Say this for Brandon Rogers. He does not become less aggressive when he's in foul trouble. And Coach Price is taking a big risk keeping him and Royal in, but he kind of has to. It probably would be a bigger risk if he didn't keep him in.
Young out to Champ Brewer. Champ Brewer for a three. Sit back. He is good as gold. And Champ Brewer hits the late Trey cut it three ball to bring it up to 37.
Well, Rogers almost fouled on purpose. He's got to let it go.
Panay Basagote for the slam dunk and a timeout on the floor. And the Lawton High bench just comes up excited. And we'll take a timeout. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
The heart of Oklahoma, where your home isn't just a place, it's your peace. At Century Roofing, we understand the importance of protecting your peace. We're experts in roofing technology, techniques, and customer service because we care about Oklahoma and we care about you. At Century Roofing, we combine quality craftsmanship and exceptional service because your home deserves the best. Century Roofing, staying on guard for Oklahoma.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
All right, back to action here. Coach Price calls the timeout with $1:26 left to go in the third quarter. So we still got fourth quarter to go.
Carl Albert is down to one timeout. One timeout, down 15. Barely over a quarter to go. This third quarter started to play out how you would expect. If Lawton High was going to win this game, you expect them to do it the way they did. They're right there, getting steals.
Steal, put back, puts up no good. Gets the rebound, though. Second opportunity, and a travel is called. So got the rebound, but took the extra step. Yeah.
The Chan Brewer, kind of a heat check play. You get a steal like that, go ahead and go downhill, try to get in the paint, and then find an open three-point shooter if one presents itself.
1:10 remaining in the third quarter. Carl Albert's going to still slow this pace just a little bit down. Remember our title sponsor, Confidence Chevrolet Buick GMC. Confidence is Cavender. Thank you for your title sponsorship during this Mid-Dell playoff run. Three-ball look, no good. Bounces around and a whistle from down the rebound with 47 seconds left to go here in the third.
It's on Deans. He's holding on Avi Young, but the ref was holding up two fingers like it's free throws. Well, I didn't see a shot attempt. But I guess we'll say that Xavier Garcia, who has been quiet for Carl Albert, that's one of the problems they've had. They've been relying on him for scoring lately. They're going to say that he was trying to tip it in, I think, and they call that a shooting foul.
Toonies buys houses charity stripe for Carl Albert. Up, and it gets that one to go in.
We haven't called for Carl Albert as our three-point sponsor for Mid-Dell, Bobby Lewis. They did make a three, but we missed it, so we want to recognize Bobby Lewis again.
He's right there from State Farm.
Yeah, we appreciate him. He's got offices in both Choctaw and Del City. So he doesn't have, not Midwest City, but he's really close to both. He's got Choctaw close to the Carl Albert area and then Del City close to the Midwest City area.
Second shot coming up is good. 39-26.
Whoa, that's
really banging down below.
You'll see.
There's some physicality down there to kind of show you what that's all about.
That's 4 on Carl Albert. That's just a.
Yeah.
And Deans was really the more physical player there, but he's able to draw a foul.
On the press, Brewer looks for Panay Basangote. Panay here on the corner, back to Brewer. Brewer back over to Deans, top of the key. Deans will look back to Coach Smith with 34 seconds remaining in the third. Bounces back over to Brewer, or Panay. Panay. Oh, loose bug. Young, he just takes it all the way in, but it's slapped around. It goes out of bounds, but last touch by Carl Albert. So 26 seconds remain in the third quarter.
Last base on a bounce play for Lawton High. They ran a play for Barnes. And we're about to see if they do so here. I think Lawton High wants to talk it over. They want to finish this quarter strong, so they're going to go ahead and use a timeout.
We'll take it with them. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Is your heating unit prepared for an unpredictable winter? At Miller Noble, we'll make sure you're in good hands. Whether you're replacing an old system or just need a simple repair, we've got the experience and the tools to keep you covered. If you can't pay all at once, we have flexible financing options available.
Stay cozy this winter with Miller Noble Heating and Air, serving Lawton, Duncan, and surrounding areas. Call now at 580-355-1811.
All right, after the timeout, .25 seconds remaining. As Coach Smith called the timeout. Want to talk about the draw up last play to try to get one more bucket before we start the fourth quarter. Deans.
Jackson Webster in for Carl. Sorry, the defensive sub. See if he can help him finish.
Takes it strong to the hoop. It rolls out, though. Carl Albert with the rebound with 7 seconds. Stolen by Brewer. Back over to Deans. Deans for the bucket for two.
What a play by Brewer. He's played a really good quarter. And that 2 points really stings for Carl Albert because they were looking to score on the other end. Instead, they give up 2 points.
41-26 after three. We'll be back with the fourth and final one right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Wings and pizza here.
You mean pizza and wings?
16 boneless wings, 1 pizza, wings and pizza.
It's stuffed crust pizza. Pizza is the lead.
Wings and pizza. Guys,
get a large stuffed crust pizza and 16 boneless wings starting at $19.99. Only at Pizza Hut.
With the new Ultimate Hut Bundle, create your ultimate Pizza Hut feast. I got meat lovers and double pepperoni.
Rock, we got double pep.
I get double pep.
Dude, Bundle Bros.
Bundle Bros.
Bundle Bros.
Build yours starting at $24.99. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Welcome back to the Bridge Creek Gymnasium, where we've got a fun one here if you're a Lawton High faithful with their lead, but we got a long way to go, and it's Carl Albert. Just remember that. Fourth quarter sponsor,
Patrick Newby.
Patrick Newby.
Boy, we're seeing a lot of aggressiveness from Champ Brewer. He's gotten 2 steals, and he's hungry right now. Also has his third, but I don't think that's a problem at the moment. But Patrick Newby, they're located in Oklahoma. They're located in Midwest City. They're family-owned and operated for over 40 years. 29th and Air Depot. Phone number to call is 405-733-7671.
This was an 18-18 halftime contest. What a difference of 2 halves in what they make. Carl Albert with the ball, trying to get something going offensively.
Well, that backdoor play has not been there. Lawton High is just they're kind of figuring it out how they wanted to play the passing lanes. 1 point game, by the way, in the fourth quarter over at Piedmont between El Reno and Dill City.
Wow. We knew that was going to be a good one.
Yeah, that game's not on YouTube, but still very available on our network. So many other ways to watch.
Yeah. Had some kind of technical difficulties with that. We apologize because we hate that. We'll upload it, though, later because it's going to be a good one. It's going to be away. Whistle on the floor.
2 early fouls this quarter on Lawton High. And maybe one way Carl Albert can climb back in this thing, get to the free throw line early, but they got to keep being aggressive.
Looks to drive, contested a little bit, almost stolen. Takes it all the way in, up off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Lawton High. Opportunity, Panay Basangote takes it and slams it home.
So easy for him. Again, that's what Lawton High just wasn't doing in the first half, getting those transition opportunities, especially off defensive rebounds. It's all come alive for him here. Biggest lead of the game.
Yeah, they found what they came into this game, but they wanted this right here with the transitions, the steals, opportunity, slowing it down, stop, pop, no good. Rebounded Carl Albert, and a little bit of a exchange of physicality down underneath.
3 fouls now in Lawton High, but is it going to matter? No. Is there going to be enough time for Carl Albert? This is just not a great offensive team. They played their type of game in the first half, but it was only a tie, though. That's the problem. They couldn't get enough of an advantage on the scoreboard. This game
kind of frustrated Lawton High in that first quarter, and actually the first half when you say it's 18-18 at the half.
Yeah.
And look what's happened here just in the second half.
Already 25 points for Lawton High.
More than they've scored in 2 quarters.
And for Carl Albert, only 12 points since the end of the first quarter. This is big for Lawton High. I mean, Eric, you would maybe know more than I don't know when they last made state.
I think it was 2009, I think. So it's been a while, and they were in 6A for the longest time, so a little bit harder of a category to get yourself into in that Final 8.
We've seen some really good state teams from Lawton MacArthur and Lawton Eisenhower, but Lawton High has not had their turn in a while.
It's been a long time. Turnaround jumper for Carl Albert, no good. In fact, the kids got an opportunity, for those who are watching the broadcast, and some of them know, is had a special Zoom call by Stacy King.
Oh, yeah.
Lawton High phenom that went on to OU, played for the Bulls with Michael Jordan. Spent about 20 minutes talking to him, and they really didn't know who Stacy King was, but after the conversation, they knew the school and all the neighborhoods he grew up with, and they really attached to that.
I met Stacy King when I was 9 years old. He came with Isaiah Thomas down to the Great Plains Coliseum in 1990, and I got my picture taken with him.
Oh, very nice.
I'll have to show you one of these days.
Loose ball taken by Carl Albert, coast to coast, puts it up and in. But, yeah, he said he's heard about this Wolverine team, and he's on the broadcast booth still for the Chicago Bulls and wanted to zoom in and talk to these young kids. And that was really a nice little touch. Outside for a 3-ball, no good. Rebound by Carl Albert. Contested, stolen by the Wolverines, up and in off the glass, and Carl Albert's off their rhythm now.
They just have not been able to take care of the basketball really well. They've turned the ball over, and I'm talking live ball turnovers after getting defensive rebounds 2 or 3 times. Just a very different half for Lawton High.
Try to get that down underneath, inside the paint, and a whistle. They're going to stay on the floor.
Yeah, when I think of
it's going to be the 4th on Lawton High and none for Carl Albert. But the what now?
When I think of great Lawton High players, start with Stacy King. The next guy I think of is Malcolm Johnson.
Yeah.
He's up in Mustang now. His son is a football player for OU who played at Mustang. Malcolm Johnson played college ball at TCU.
Lets that one sail, and you let the 3-ball
there's a Bobby
wide
Lewis
open.
3.
Yep.
Jordan Hawkins, he's really good at that. That's a really good attempt at a deflection and a jump ball by Rogers, but there may be a foul on someone else. Yeah, there's a foul on, we'll see who. No, it is on Rogers. Because he got too much contact. It's his 4th.
That's going to pick up 4th, yeah.
Now you're going to keep
he's
him
doing
in.
What he can.
If he fouls out, he fouls out.
Well, at this point, you got to.
Carl Albert looks like the game's not over yet. I just don't see it. I don't see Lawton High taking their foot off the pedal unless Carl Albert can start getting hot from 3-point range, which they got some players to do it, but I don't know if they can work those threes, if they can get the separation they need.
Rucker up to Deans. He'll back out. Back over to Rucker. Rucker, tried to bounce pass right off the leg. Gets the ball back up to Deans, and we'll start new. 4:40 left to go. Deans will look to drive. Goes right back to his left. Backs look to Coach. Little trail off. Over to Young, to Rucker. Rucker back up to Deans. Deans will look to drive. Oh, man, got that disrupted, trying to get it to Panay, but he gets the rebound.
That's
unbelievable,
5.
Then puts it up and then gets fouled.
And good initial defense from Carl Albert. One of the toughest things in basketball is when you play good defense, but you don't get the initial defensive rebound off the missed shot. And Rogers couldn't get it. Deans just finished strong there, got to the free throw line. And it's going to be all she wrote for tonight for Brandon Rogers.
Yeah.
But, of course, the challenge for Carl Albert will be to shake this off and come strong here tomorrow. They'll be playing on the same court.
Back here tomorrow. And they'll face the winner of this next game here. And that's the game that we're going to feature coming up, Midwest City and MacArthur. And that should be a good game. First shot is up and good, up and no good.
Those teams played earlier in Yukon this season. The one Middale matchup we haven't seen with either teams was Lawton Highgart playing Carl Albert, and we'll get that tonight.
I made yesterday. He was practicing, and I said, "You got to make these," because he was at the free throw line, and he said, and he made those in practice. He didn't make it right there.
Well, maybe not in this game. He has to make it, but yeah, you wanted to make him anyway, just to get that good, just because it's a good sign for future games.
Kind of interrupted, slopped around, and then Carl Albert gets it, and then the exchange and a whistle. Man, that was really ugly. Kind of going physical on both sides.
This is where LeBron Royal shooting some Toonie Bice Houses free throws for Carl Albert. Again, he can get to the line a bunch because of the type of player he is. Can he be efficient? I believe he's 1 of 2 tonight.
So he goes to the line shooting 2. First shot up and good.
And now you're going to see a couple defensive subs for Carl Albert. Jackson Webster and Darian Thomas. Now, these are physical players who also play football, and I know Webster plays baseball. In fact, his great uncle was McDonald's All-American at Carl Albert back in the day. They're in for defense right now. You want to make this free throw for Royal so you can set up your defense, but instead he does that. Now, because it's an air ball, Carl Albert can still set up their defense. You just like to have that one more point. And I don't think Lawton High Deans will throw it in. He can't run the baseline. So, again, you want a good press here if you're Carl Albert. They are going to try.
Deans to Brewer. Brewer double-teamed at the line. Oh,
That's
and it's
exactly
a steal.
What you want.
And there it is, the bucket. They get from the steal.
And now all of a sudden this lead doesn't feel as safe.
That's right. And that's why I say you can't let off. It's a full timeout. We'll take it with them. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Lawton Fort Sill Regional Airport, just 1 mile to anywhere, offering non-stop service to Dallas-Fort Worth. Fast, friendly, and convenient without all the hassles. Easy parking, and with close proximity to your arrivals and departures, all in their newly renovated terminal. Here to there in just 1 mile. To book your mile to anywhere destination from LAW, log on to AA.com. or call 800-433-7300.
All right, back after the timeout, and just like you said, what Carl Albert needed to do, they did. With that pressure, with that air ball, and they end up they missed the 2 at the line, but they get the 2 with the put-back steal and up and in.
Del City up 6 with about 2 minutes to go. The fact they're up 6, what a second half they've had against Del Reno. And another steal for the Titans.
Here comes Carl Albert, just what Carl Albert does, a 3-ball from NBA range, no good. Loose ball picked up, and now a foul on the rebound.
Not in the penalty, though, so Carl Albert's press can still be active here. I'm surprised they got that steal just because Lawton High's coming out of a timeout. Usually you call that timeout just to run your press break. And
so Rucker will look for a little bit of help. Then we get it over to Panay Vasangote over here in the corner. He'll wait. Rucker comes in, stops, a little floater up, and bounces around, no good. Loose ball picked up. Mad dash for it. It's into the hands of the Wolverines. Up and in, and the bucket counts. The and one.
There's one thing that just kills you if you're Carl Albert. It's the amount of times you've had the ball, getting a defensive stop, getting a rebound, and then just giving the ball right back up. And in that case, it was an unforced error. What a sequence that was. If that 3 by Hawkins went in, you'd be looking at an 8-point game, and you'd have to really think about this differently. And that play big for Lawton High. They took an ill-advised shot. I know you don't like stall ball, Eric, but you don't want to shoot up quick shots either when you have the lead.
No.
They
did
did.
One and makes a 3-point swing.
But they survived because they got a kind of a break in that case. It was an unforced error by Carl Albert there.
They're still going to put that press and that defense. Carl Albert swing outside 3 from the corner. No good.
They had Hawkins wide open.
Rebounded by Deans. Deans will slow it up just a bit. Wait for Trail for a little bit of offense to come up. Rucker to Deans. Deans will hold the ball with 3 minutes. Then drive. And, we've seen it a little bit, but it does really get out of their rhythm. But I see since they were out of the rhythm in the first quarter, maybe that doesn't count. Rucker all alone for Young. He misses. Put back up with a rebound is missed. Carl Albert with a rebound. Double teamed. Loose ball. Gets it out to Rucker. Rucker to Panay. Panay slams it home.
Again, just bad ball handling for Carl Albert. Leads to a dunk or a layup for Lawton High. That might be a dagger play right there.
2.5 to go, and there's a whistle there. So we're going to go back to the line. Already in the bonus for Carl Albert the rest of the way. One more for Carl Albert to put Lawton High there.
Jordan Hawkins will shoot some Toonie Bice-House's free throws. You need to finish this game strong for Carl Albert, especially from a ball handling standpoint. If they play Midwest City on Friday, which is it's an if because Midwest City's got to deal with Lawton MacArthur, Bombers can play with the same type of defensive aggression. And it'll be good for Carl Albert to have this game under their belt if they do play a high-pressure team like Midwest City, a team that will pressure you full court. Boy, Dale City up by 7. What a half they've had.
Misses that one. Loose ball picked up. Rucker going to have to either call timeout. A jump ball is called. And the possession arrow is going back the other way. But here comes Carl Albert in that defense. Of course, they're going to play to the end, as all teams should. Area championship, area consolation in the second of our doubleheader with Midwest City and MacArthur. One is going to finish up their season. The other is going to play again tomorrow night to face the loser of this contest.
Which looks like it'll be Carl Albert, but that's a tough call on Elijah Matthews there. Like you said, you still play the very end. You don't think about, we got to start resting guys.
No.
Definitely not yet.
No. And I will say Lawton High has not gone to their bench like they have in the past, but in games like this you won't see much. I mean, they've got a good rotation.
And they'll have a pretty, my guess would be a pretty favorable matchup. Lawton High would be if they get to the state winning this game. And that's one of the advantages. You've got better seeding. Although I will say Booker T is in a battle with East Central, and Tulsa Memorial only up by Edison Prep by 5, so it could be that any of the teams in the East are really strong, but Memorial and Booker T especially so. If they hold on and win, Lawton High will not have to worry about them in the first round.
He's going to go and count the bucket, and that was pretty. A little airmail delivery, and we'll see that here on the replay. Super Subs replay right there. Nice delivery.
You know what? If you ever come back up for a track meet at Carl Albert, Eric, you need to go to Super Subs.
Oh, yeah. I'm a sub guy.
Yep. And they're locally owned, too. But good finish by Xavier Garcia. Shooting some Toonie Bice-House's free throws, but again, just few and far between. At least now they made the free throw, so can they still press effectively? Yes, they can.
Yes, steal, and then they'll whistle with a reach in there.
So it's going to be
playing. See, I'm just saying that you can't let up, and I'm glad Carl Albert's playing this way because, the thing is, this is a fight for this area championship. You got 2 minutes left to go, and, you're playing to win.
And you got a short turnaround. Again, I'm still going to talk as if Lawton High's going to hold on here. But Carl Albert's making this interesting. Their press has been effective, and that's going to give Chavis Smith, the Lawton High coach, something to work on. And it's a short turnaround for any team making state because the first round's on a Monday. Very new in 5A.
Misses that. Loose ball picked up. Wolverines with the rebound with Champ Brewer, and their timeout is called.
No foul, I believe. Or it wasn't a timeout. No, you're right. It's timeout.
So we'll take it with them. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Lawton Community Health Center is a place for babies, kids like me, and even teenagers. Nice people are there to help you when you're hurt or you just don't feel good. And even if you do, they give you medicine so you don't get sick and physicals so you can play sports. I'm happy to know they'll be there when I need them. And my mom is too.
LCHC, your hometown healthcare.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes,
call Rob and Will.
Final 2:05 remain in this one. It was an 18-18 score at the half. And they're going to call a tie up there.
They'll call a foul.
Foul. We're going to come back the other way, and Coach Price didn't like that.
Again, this is going to give Lawton High something to think about. If Carl Albert can press them like this and press them with some effectiveness.
Yeah.
You know, a team like Tulsa Memorial, who Lawton High's seen, or Booker T, or Del City, those are the quality of teams that Lawton High will have to deal with if they want to win state. And, of course, there's the free throw line. Tavares Deans.
Got a miss.
He's not had a good shooting game. He's
not
been active.
Not his typical, but
he's
still
played
being
well.
the role player that he needed to be.
I should say he's played well in other ways, but the shooting.
Yeah, that's true. Once bounce,
nice
and then a roll. The shooter's roll worked in the Bridge Creek Gym. 52-39, 2 minutes left to go here in this one. Carl Albert with a drive stop for a three ball downtown is good. Connects to that one to bring it to 42.
Garcia, they left him too open there.
10-point lead. 1:44 remaining in a steal by Carl Albert. Here comes back the Titans. Coming back on the other side. Opportunity for a three ball. Adjust up and in. Can you believe it? What a contest this is becoming.
90 seconds. There's still time for the Titans. 2 quick threes, unbelievable.
A lot of nervous people in this gym on the Lawton High side.
When do you foul if you're Carl Albert?
They're going to let that one go in, and he misses.
It's a foul on Lawton High. That should be free throws for the Titans. Wow.
What a turn of events. And that's why I say that, when you get – now they're grouping, Lawton High is grouping down there to kind of understand what's – and that's why with Carl Albert, you just cannot count Carl Albert out at all.
And you saw what happened there, Eric. I think it was Barnes or Brewer. They didn't stall. They did, and they went to the basket, but that's the risk.
Yes.
It's such a tough thing when you're trying to protect the lead. You want a layup, but you really need to be a wide open layup. Brewer shot a tougher layup, and it was a good shot. He probably will normally make it.
Oh,
there's that free throw line for Carl Albert. They haven't been great from there either.
It's a big miss there, and Lawton High takes a little sigh of relief.
And you got the guy you want shooting too, Xavier Garcia.
Second shot coming up. We've had one foul out for Carl Albert, who's been a difference maker, and he got those early fouls and connects to make it 46.
Wow, no one. Well, someone was about to go to the middle for Lawton High. The middle was wide open. Young was cutting there late, and now Lawton High cannot run baseline.
Rucker over to Brewer. Brewer back over to Rucker. Rucker. Oh, and then there we go. A little pick the pocket on the side, and that will send him to the line with a buck five, and a little bit of a little sigh of relief that happened. Yep. But you're going to have to convert these to really kind of put the pressure on.
Jackson Webster was a very aggressive reach from behind. It's a good gamble by Webster, so that's not a bad foul. You have to take those gambles, but it was a very physical reach in there. Wow.
Oh, let Trey cut it. Charity stripe opportunity and misses on the first one.
Well, neither team will feel good about the free throw shooting.
No, I can definitely see that.
Lawton High probably will feel a little worse.
Key one here for Rucker. Several bounces, eye at the bucket, up, and it rattles in and out. Loose ball picked up by Carl Albert, and they're going to say Rucker gets the foul, and you're going to put Carl Albert to the line.
You see where he got fouled, talking about Austin Johnson, and he was in trouble. Austin Johnson was in trouble. That's a tough call because this is how Lawton High plays. Do you want to play any different? You double team a rebounder. They do it a lot. Another team gets a defensive rebound. Lawton High doubles. They force so many steals this game doing that. But then there's the other side of it. It's a risk.
Tooney's buys House's charity stripe. Very important key. Gets that one to go. And you know what's coming up next is this defensive press right here.
Yeah, they're bringing in their press guys on defense. Jackson Webster comes in. Darian Thomas will come in for Austin Johnson if Austin Johnson makes this free throw. And it has thrown Lawton High off.
It sure has. Rims out. Panay Basengote with the rebound. Back over to Barnes. Up and off the glass for two is good.
Risky but effective.
Going to take it coast to coast and up and in. Carl Albert answers quickly. 41 seconds left to go. And a whistle on the other end of the floor.
Foul there by Hawkins. The amazing thing about this is Carl Albert's done this with not using any timeouts. They're down to one. They want to save that one.
Let Trey cut it. Charity stripe opportunity for Young with an important free throw trip. Shot is up and good. Brings it to 54 to 55.
Del City moves on, Eric.
Del City has just defeated El Reno in their third loss of the season.
Another year of making state for Lenny Hatchett. He only does it every year. He's at Del City.
El Reno will be in the consolation round. They'll take on the Elgin game.
Wow.
Turnaround jumper for three is good. Can you believe it? They are not going away yet. The never say die. Carl Albert Titans just made this a very interesting showdown with 26 seconds left to go and a timeout. We'll take it with him. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Well, we understand that Del City has already defeated El Reno. They punched their ticket to state. We've got a 4-point contest here, 56-52.
Now the problem for Carl Albert, they're out of timeouts, so if they score a basket, Lawton High can just sit on that ball for a few seconds. Wow, what a press.
Over to Champ Brewer.
Garcia tried to foul Brewer, didn't call it. Deans, what a
Deans
finish.
Takes it.
He may have gotten fouled. They didn't call that. Carl Albert's got to shoot a quick three.
Heavily guarded. Puts it up for a three. Way off the arc. With a putback up for two.
Let it run
good.
out. It's over.
And that's it. 58-54. And the Lawton High Wolverines storm the court. And they are going to state. The first time since 2009. And the Lawton High Wolverines coming from 6A to 5A just made a big difference. And boy, I'll tell you what, Carl Albert gave them everything in that finish. So I know that Coach Smith's going to be interviewed by Jordan Ray here shortly. 58-54. That is your final. And don't go anywhere because we're going to have the Midwest City MacArthur game matched up right after this in the conclusion. So the Lawton High Wolverines will win the area championship. The Carl Albert Titans, because this is their first loss, will still play, and they will play the winner of the second game with this matchup between Midwest City and the MacArthur Highlanders. So there's the area championship trophy. We'll have Jordan Ray get the interview here shortly. The Lawton High is going to the big house, and a little bit of fan participation. The excitement and the exuberation, and I know, Jordan Ray, you're going to have one excited Coach Smith, and we'll send it down to you.
Hey, Eric, okay. Hey, Coach, what's the feeling like here?
It's amazing. Man, God is good. God is good. It feels amazing.
What were you telling your team when Carl Albert was coming back there? What was your message?
We've been here before. We did the same thing last year in Moore game. We was up, I think 48 seconds left. We gave a lead up, kind of cracked within ourselves. We had to fix it out as a team.
Halftime, that wasn't your game in the first half, 18-18. What changed in the third quarter?
In the third quarter, man, we started playing our ball. Believing in ourselves, playing, sticking to the plan.
All right, we'll let you take some pictures with your team here, but we're not done yet.
So we'll get that little, there's the shot. Going to get the photo finish moment. I know the teams are ready to come on the court for the game 2, which we'll have here shortly. Midwest City and MacArthur in the consolation area. Area champions, the Lawton High Wolverines over the Carl Albert Titans. Carl Albert will play again tomorrow night. And they'll face the winner of this contest. I think Jordan is trying to get Panay Vasagote. A little bit of an interview there.
Okay, Panay, let's get your perspective. After it was an 18-18 first half, what changed for you guys in the second half?
To stay together, get all the nerves out the first half. We just wanted to play as a group, play fast, and just enjoy our time here, just enjoy the moment.
What does it mean for you guys to get to state? I know you guys hosted regionals the last 2 years, but you couldn't get much farther than that. But now here you are, you made it all the way to state. What's the feeling like?
It feels good. This is our history right here. We're making history, so we got to change our narrative and change the culture of our school.
All right, congratulations. We'll see you on Monday.
Thank you. Have a blessing.
All right, Eric.
All right, going to the big house. So that's going to wrap up our broadcast for this one as the Lawton High Wolverines, area champions over the Carl Albert Titans. You've been watching a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Thanks for watching this presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.